Hi there, it's Chris van der Kerk here at Bluerhino Safaris. In 2016, I think it was in August, they released a report on the great elephant census that was conducted over the previous 2 years. In over 18 countries, elephants were counted, specifically the African savanna elephant, the ones that we typically see here in Southern Africa. And the idea was to just establish what the population of elephants are in the world and where they come from and where they are heading towards. The long and short of it is that elephants, as with a few other thousand species, are busy becoming extinct. And that is for several reasons, but it is true for the elephants as it is for other species. Just for interest's sake, technically we are in a mass extinction event at the moment with the amount of species that are busy dying off on the planet, and the elephants form part of these numbers. They came from numbers of about 3 to 5 million elephants 100 years ago, down to 352,000 elephants at the moment. And that's a lot. That's a tenth of what they were 100 years ago. They lost 30% of their population just in the last 7 years. One of the keys to that is poaching. Poaching is still a very big issue, and the world is busy looking, or the conservation world is busy looking at how to rectify the problem. So with that in mind, a lot of the information I got from the book The Last Elephant, and yes, I decided to make a tour to focus on the elephants. We feel very close to them. It's great to be around them. They are extremely intelligent. They are very social. They are really a mammal that we relate to in a large way. So I decided to create a tour specifically with this in mind. I call it the Grootvoete 2019. Grootvoete in Afrikaans, it means big feet in English. And it's what Deleen Matthee has referred to the elephants to in the past. So Grootvoete is something that South African people do know. My Grootvoete tour in 2019 is a specific focus on the elephants that we find in our region. Now the study found that the largest concentration of elephants are in Botswana at 37%. I think it was, and then in Zimbabwe at 24%. And that region at the top near the Chobe and Zambezi River, Chobe-Wangi area, is the largest concentration of elephants. So I designed this route, a 9-night route, just with a focus on elephants. We're going into the best possible campsites that you can find on the face of this planet for elephants. Matsumo Dam in Wangi National Park, the Tema Dam picnic site at Wangi National Park. We sleep there exclusively. So it's one of those trips that you will not find an alternative to this one anywhere. I'm excited about this, and if I have no bookings, I'm going on my own. This is how great this trip is going to be. So it's 24th of August this year is our departing date. And let's look at the route itself quickly. We're going to start at Nata. We all meet up at Nata. They have got a nice restaurant. It's a good place to start off. And then the next morning we travel up to Panamatenga border crossing, and we go into Zimbabwe, into the Wangi National Park. Now, before everybody runs away, we are not going to drive through Zimbabwe extensively. We are popping just over into the Wangi National Park area, and then we're going to use the back roads to get up to Vic Falls, and then from Vic Falls we're going back into Botswana. So you won't need any fuel in Zimbabwe. You'll have enough fuel on board. You won't need any fuel because you'll have enough food, because you'll have enough food with you. So don't worry about what you read on the news about Zimbabwe. It's not going to affect us at all. But Wangi is one of the biggest concentrations of elephant in the world. So 2 nights there. Matsumo Dam, it's a picnic site, it's exclusive. Once they close the gates in the evening at 6 o'clock, nobody else is allowed there. We can sit around in the bird hide or in the hide and watch the elephants come in. We've seen cheetah there before, we've seen lion there before. a lot of antelope. And then the next day, late 10 o'clock or so, after breakfast, a nice relaxed morning, sitting in the hide, having coffee. We grab our stuff and we drive around in the Cinematella area and look around for some game viewing. And then early-ish, we'll arrive at the Tima Dam. The Tima Dam we will do for that night. It's another picnic spot. We've seen in excess of 250 elephants a night there before. So it's really one of the hot spots for elephants, and it's really lovely to sit in the hide and watch them come in herd after herd after herd and drinking. Once we've done that portion of Wangi, we exit the park via the back roads into Vic Falls, and we'll spend 2 nights at Vic Falls. So Vic Falls campsite, really nice campsite, grass, restaurant, everything is there that you might need, and nice shade as well. From our campsite we can see the spray of Vic Falls. It's end of August, so the falls should be fairly high still, with some really good viewing from the Zimbabwean side. And we're there for 2 nights. The afternoon you can relax a little bit. We should be there in camp at about 3-4ish. And then there's a bit of shopping if you want to do some shopping, do the touristy stuff, do a chopper flight if you want to. But from there, the next morning, we will go for a guided elephant walk. It is done in Vic Falls, and we will have a close-up encounter with the elephants, smelling them, touching them, knowing exactly who they are and how they operate. And this guided walk will take us about 2 or 3 hours. Then we're done, we go back to our campsite, and you have the day off. You can visit the falls, you can relax a bit, read a book, do whatever you feel like it. The next morning we depart quite early, get through the border into Kasane in Botswana. We fill up our vehicles, we do our shopping for the remainder of the trip, and we once we've done that, we enter Chobe National Park, I guess about 10-11ish in the morning. We do the whole river section of the Chobe River, and we should see some elephants near the water and in the area. Also nice cats that we normally find there, and we are in the Chobe on the river section. We drive the complete section all the way to Ngoma Breach at the Caprivi Strip tip, and exit there around about 4 in the afternoon, get to our campsite and relax for a lovely evening. So we're there for the night. The next morning, bright and early, we travel down to Savuti, where we'll stop and have a look around for the large elephants there. The Savuti elephants are the largest that you find in the world. They are humongous. So we'll see if we can find them, stop for lunch, travel further down until we get to the Delta, and that will be the last 2 nights in the reservation area. So we will sleep 2 nights just outside of or in the Okavango Delta area, and in the day between the 2 nights we'll go into a private concession. We will do a game drive, see what we can find, do a few walks, and I'll show you the spoor of the elephant and what you can tell from the spoor, and we'll round off the whole trip in that concession area. We're a little bit more free to move, so it's also a private area, and we'll have our personal guide for the day coming with us. And then the next morning is really just departing to get back home. If you come from the Cape, you can always drive around to Ghanzi and follow that road around. Otherwise, I'm just driving down to the border, and we'll probably sleep on the border somewhere, either in South Africa or in Botswana, depending on the time that we arrive at the border. And that will be it. That is the 9 nights that we will do in Botswana. Just a little bit further down on the page, you can find the detail, 24th of August departure date, 9 nights. We're camping 11,700 per person because we are in parks so much, and because we are at exclusive campsites so much. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is really worth it. If you have done gorillas, or you want to do gorillas and chimps, then these elephants should be on the list as well. About 2,500 kilometers, all of this in Botswana. Fuel in Botswana a lot cheaper than in South Africa, so we're going to save a bit of fuel. I say no children, but you can bring children. Just be aware that if you do the elephant walk, management of the elephant walk can decline your child to join, just for safety's sake. Like with many animals, you don't want to see a child being hurt by an elephant in an accident. So if you want to bring children, you can. Just know that one or two of those activities specifically we will have to just chat about and make sure that whether they can do it. The group size, I'm going to limit it to 10 people. Only 10 people for this trip. I want to make it exclusive. I want to make it special. So enough space for everybody, enough time for everybody to do whatever they want to do. So join me on this trip. It's one of those that, as I say, I'm really excited about, and it will be absolutely great. August is the perfect time to do the elephants. The water in the veld is starting to dry up, so you get them more at the water holes. You get really good photography. We are at exclusive campsites with really good photography potential. So bring your cameras and let's go and have a look at the Grootvoete that we have the best of our planet of. Cheers.